Money.
Money. Oh.
Please tell me we're not here.
We're here all right, even though I don't know where here is.
Do people actually live like this?
Really, where's the jacuzzi?
Look, I don't think we're going to find a jacuzzi here.
Oh, Oswald, of course they have a jacuzzi. Otherwise, how are they going to relax after a long hard day at the mall?
Who cares about a jacuzzi? We're at the golf course.
I don't think we're finding any shopping malls or golf courses here.
How totally primitive. I vote we go home right now.
Me too.
Look, we can't go. Our limousine dropped us off and won't be back until Christmas Eve.
We're trapped here? How did I get myself into this? Because of the money. Oh yeah, the money. I almost forgot.
That's why we're here, because of the money.
Why do we have to come here to get our money?
Because that's how our Uncle Zeke wanted it. He wanted all of the family to come back to his old birthplace on Christmas Eve so he could read the will.
I can't believe an uncle named Zeke.
I can't believe you had money and lived here.
He was a miser. Rumor has it he hid all of his money somewhere out here.
That's so silly. Who would think of saving all that money when there's all kinds of stuff to be bought? I wonder where everybody is.
It looks deserted. I think we've come to the wrong broken down cabin.
We're at the right place, all right. The name's on the wall.
Do you really expect me to believe the people that live here have the same blood coursing through their veins as I do?
Kind of scary, isn't it?
All I can say is we better get lots of money from Uncle Zeke. Zeke, Uncle Z-E-K-E. Zach, Zeke, who cares? I'm just ready to get back to my bedroom suite and silk pajamas.
Look, guys, it's only for 2 days, all right? I'm sure we can tolerate our yee-yee cousins for 2 lousy days.
I don't know.
That sure did dress funny. That must be from the city.
I don't know. This one here sure is pretty.
This one smells like a honeysuckle vine.
Okay, do y'all live here?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Oh, we're identical twins. Brenda May and Glenda May.
You're identical twins, but you look nothing alike.
Nobody's ever told us that before.
Just look in a mirror. Mirror? What's a mirror? A piece of glass you look into and see yourself?
Oh, hold on 1 minute.
Okay, there's here.
Here's a mirror. Oh, they're right. We look nothing alike.
No, I'm much prettier.
No, I'm prettier. No, I'm prettier.
You're both plain Jane, so just cut it out.
Do y'all live up here all by yourself?
Yep.
Well, except for our cousins, Elmer, Fester, Claudine, and Donna Day, they live here too.
Yep, this our home.
Oh,
You're the prettiest thing I ever did see. Are you married?
no, I'm not married. And I do not want to be married anytime soon, especially not today, thank you.
Well, even if he would, he wouldn't marry you. He'd marry me because I'm the party.
No, I'm pretty.
No, I'm party.
I bet your mama had to tie a pork chop around your neck just to get a dog to come to you.
All right, look, guys. We're all here for the reading of Uncle Zeke's will. Our parents sent us up here for the next 2 days in the limo. We're going to take our inheritance and take it back to civilization with us.
Yes, and we don't want to bother you while you do your chores, so if you would kindly show us my bedroom so we would get settled in.
What's a bedroom?
A bedroom, you know, a place with a bed.
Where you sleep? Oh. Well, we sleep here. What?
Yeah, this is our bedroom.
Time out. Hold the phone. Just hold everything. Y'all sleep here?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. The boys over here and the girls over here.
That's where you sleep, but where do we sleep?
Yes. Where do we sleep?
Well, if you don't want to sleep in here with us, you can always go through that door there. And
That's all we need to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, I can have a room too.
Wait a minute, that's the back porch.
Yep. Y'all can sleep out there if y'all like to, but I might get cold. That's it. Oswald, gather my things. I'm calling Mother and having the limo sent back for me immediately. Where's your phone?
phone.
Your telephone. Where's your phone?
What's a telephone?
Oh my gosh, we're stuck for the next 2 days with the Beverly Hillbillies.
Look, who's gonna read the will on Christmas Eve?
Oh, Elmer, he'll do that. Him and Donna Joe and Claudine Fester, they all getting us a Christmas tree. Elmer, he's got the best education of us all.
He graduated in the 4th grade.
I think I'm getting sick at my stomach. Where's your bathroom?
Oh, I got this. So if a bedroom is a room with a bed in it, then a bathroom must be a room with a bath in it. Oh, well, we take our baths on the porch.
It's 10 degrees out there.
Well, yeah, I know, and we've been thanking the good Lord for this warm spell we've been having.
Yeah, you scrub a little here and break the ice, and scrub a little there and break the ice, and scrub a little here and break
Alright, we get it.
Well, y'all make yourselves at home. We gotta draw the water for her bath, but y'all just make yourselves at home.
Oh, gosh.
Excuse me, cuz.
Can you believe not having a telephone?
Or a bathroom.
Or a polo store.
Just remember, as soon as we get our inheritance, we are out of here.
Okay. Why have we never heard of this part of our family tree until Uncle Zeke died?
Well, the way I figure it, our parents were just too ashamed of them.
Wonder why.
Look, let's just all agree to tolerate them for these next few days so we can get our inheritance and get out of here. Agreed? Just find a place on the floor, wherever. Just get comfortable, okay? Just.
I'm not sleeping by the window. I don't want some wild animal gawking at me, alright?
Oswald is going to eat us.
We're gonna die!
I'll be tiny. Don't worry about him. He's just hungry. Let's put down the axe before you hurt somebody.
Oh, shucks. You said I could play with it.
I can play with it after a while. Hey, I'm cousin Elmer.
Oh, you have calluses.
This here's Donna Joe. She's kind of shy. This here's Fester.
I like axes.
We was out cutting us a Christmas tree.
I cut my axe.
And I thought, Dave, I'm the cook around here.
Oh, good. I'm hungry. What's in the pot?
Some possum stew and some butternut.
That's disgusting. Very bad.
Yum, yum. I like you, that pot surprise.
Well, I hope Glenda made Mexican biscuits. I can use them in my slingshot. I even killed a bear one.
Hey, Henry, I guess you could use Fester's axe and Linda's biscuits to play some golf later.
Very funny, Outlaw, very funny.
Have you noticed that girl hasn't said a word since she got here?
Why don't you girls go talk to her?
I wouldn't know what to say. It's not as though we have anything in common.
Go on, Daisy. You and Ellie go talk to her. Okay, but it won't be easy.
Hi, I'm Daisy, and this is Ellie. Is that a polo dress you're wearing?
Oh, it's amazing what people can do with burlap these days.
Yes, I've never seen a potato sack look quite that nice.
My mom made it just before she died. Your mother died? My mama used to make all my dresses. She made me this doll. Here, you can hold it.
Ellie, her mama made this.
Did your mama ever make you a doll before?
My mother couldn't open a can of caviar. If she couldn't buy it with a credit card, we did without.
What's a credit card? A little piece ahead, your little cousin. If I had a credit card, could I talk to my mama again?
What do you mean?
Well, usually a credit card's a little piece of heaven. My mom went to heaven. So if I had a credit card, could I talk to my mama again?
Ellie, you're not out. Great, my mascara's gonna run.
I'm really sorry. For what? That her mom never made her a doll before.
I'm beginning to feel a bit sorry for me too.
Daddy, the victuals is on the table.
I made the biscuits.
And I made my famous fried liver jelly.
Oh, good. Maybe I can kill me another bear with one.
Oh, Elmer, I think you're the only one that likes my biscuit.
Not really.
Here, Oswald, you can have my seat at the table.
No, we don't want to impose.
No, we really don't. No, go ahead.
Oh no, we can see us.
Come on, sit down.
Here, Oswald, I made this biscuit special for you.
And I made the jelly.
This isn't good for my digestive system, so I'm gonna pass.
My kids and I remember. Did they multiply?
Howdy, everybody. I knew you had company, Claudine, so I thought I'd make a fresh pie.
I thought that was awful nice of you. I sure do appreciate it.
Well, it can't be any worse than Linda Mae's biscuits, Linda Mae's frog liver jelly, and Claudine's possum stewed butternut. So tell me, what kind of pie is it?
Claret milk with nutmeg and pecan.
Yum, yum.
We like to hold hands when we say the blessing.
You're kidding.
I can put this on the table, baby. Let's all gather around and say God bless you. Oh, I almost forgot. We gotta wash our hands.
Good idea.
What's that smell?
Does it smell like skunk eating rotten cheese while wallowing in the sewage?
Yes.
That's probably just us. We've been getting in a hole pen. Hey, I'm hungry. Pass me a biscuit.
Hey, Patrick, you should have seen the coon I caught in my trap this morning. It was a big.
That's my thing good eating.
They make good hats too.
Take on your head.
Mom's gonna make me a first cut out of them one day, ain't you, Mom?
Sure am. Want to see Chester?
Oh, it's a rat!
I didn't want to suggest.
I'm having a nervous breakdown. Maybe if I could watch some of my favorite videos, I could calm down. Do you have MTV?
Not me. I had my shot.
Oh,
Linda May, don't just come on around and help me clean up these dishes.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I guess we better head home. Sun will be down soon and we have a long walk. Come on, kids.
Bye, y'all. Y'all be safe.
Bring the dog with you. Get off, get off. Early in the morning, I'll greet Uncle Zeke's will so we can all get our inheritance. Till then, I think it's time to get some shut-eye. Boys, we're going to be over here. Girls, y'all going to be over there.
Good night, Linda May. Good night, Brenda May.
Good night, Fester.
Good night, Elmer.
Good night, Donna Joe.
Good night, Jim Bob.
What's that?
Oh, that's just a hootie owl. Get some sleep.
What was that? Oh, that's just the coyotes. Go to sleep.
What's that smell?
Oh, that's just Elmer. It must have been the possum stew.
Everyone get up. Everyone up. Wait. Elmer, please get the wheel so you can read it and we can get out of here. Just please.
I'll get it. Well, it says, dear nieces and nephews,
As you all know, I am dead. And because I have no children of my own, I have chosen to leave my inheritance to all of you. In my young days, I found gold up here in the mountains. Lots of gold. So I decided to go into the city to cash it in. I had big plans for my money. I was going to fix up this place, buy me some fancy clothes, and hang out with the richest people. I was going to live like a king and make everyone bow down to me. After living as a poor man all my life and being treated terrible by everybody, why people would call me names, spit on me. Well, I figured it was time for payback. These folks were going to know me as Zeke, the richest man on earth. While traveling to the city to cash in my gold, I ran into an old preacher. He was a nice man, and I told him of my good fortune and all my plans, how I was going to live like a king. It was then he began to tell me a story that would change my life forever. It was around this time of year that a real king was born. He was born in a stable. I thought, he can't be a king being born in a stable. He should have been born in the best hospital in the world. But this king was different from any other. He wasn't born to show off his riches. He was born to die. I learned that his Father in heaven loved us so much that he sent his Son to die on a cross as a sacrifice for our sins, that we may have eternal life with him in heaven. I thought for a long time about that. How could someone love me that much? Nobody ever loved me, not even some of my own family. I was always poor. I thought I had to have money for people to notice me. But this king noticed me. I was somebody to him. I asked the preacher, what is this king's name? He told me his name is Jesus Christ. Oh, how I wanted to be like him. He has such a love for people. He really cares. No matter what you look like, or how much money you have or don't have, I begin to weep. I've never felt like this before. Oh, how I yearn to be near Him. I finally felt love. The preacher began to pray with me, and I asked Jesus to come into my heart. What joy filled my soul. All the money and the prestige in the world couldn't make me feel this way. So I'm leaving you the greatest gift, an inheritance for life, the gift of salvation. Oh, and as for the money, well, I decided to give it all to the mission field so that others may hear the greatest love story ever told. Oh yeah, I did buy each of you something before giving all my money away, a Bible. I pray you all would deeply consider what I've told you, and I pray that I'll see you all in heaven someday. Love in Christ, Uncle Zeke.
You know, legend might have had it. As they sit there and held that Bible, begin to ponder what went on in their lives the last day and a half. On the long ride back to the city for this group, as they talked amongst themselves, and when they got back home in the big city, and the fast pace and the hustle and bustle, nothing seemed to matter as much as it mattered before that time that they come together with a simplicity. And as family began to bond, legend might would have it that every year that they would begin to visit each other, that their snootiness and their arrogance had just kind of left them. And the humility of this Christ that they begin to read about in those Bibles took hold. You know, not everybody comes to an opportunity to meet Jesus and automatically receives Him. No, that don't work like that for most. I know it did for me, and it probably did for a lot of you. But over time and evaluation and the reoccurrence of the Lord just putting things in our heart, and as we said, you know what, I've even met people that says, you know what, I'm going to prove this Bible wrong. I'm going to prove this Jesus wrong. And you know what? They made great Christians. Because they realized that, hey, there was no wrong in Jesus. Jesus. Someone sitting here today says, oh, I've tried that religion. I went to that church or went to that church. Some of you might say, I come to this church, and oh, I've tried. No, you might have tried the preacher, you might have tried the singers, and you might have tried the atmosphere. But if you'll try Jesus, the author and the finisher of your soul. Amen. If you'll cast your burdens and cares upon Him, because you see, there is no place in heaven that determines if the black side of heaven or the white side of heaven, the Jewish side of heaven, or the Cajun side of heaven, or the redneck side of heaven, the hillbilly. No, it's not going to be all that. It's listen. What Uncle Zeke found that was so precious in his mind at one time, that's all going to be overlaid on the streets up there in heaven, and you're going to be walking on it. And as he realized that, you know what? None of that was important. The only thing that was important is my relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. And I'm here to tell you, to my last dying breath, that is the only thing important on this earth, is that you come to know Jesus Christ, the author and the finisher of your faith, the hope of glory. Oh, sure, He might bless you with a nice job. He might bless you with many friends. He might bless you with a nice place to live. But you know what? You're here not for all that. You come about this earth, and let me tell you, I've talked to a lot of young people that think they've been a mistake or an accident. But not one that's ever been born on this earth was an accident in the eyes of God. Not one. Because God's got a purpose for every person that's ever walked the face of this earth.
And you know, we could have been born back in the time of the American Revolution. We could have been born back in the time of some other time, even when Jesus was on earth. But Jesus chose you to live now, because there is still a work to do. He's still saving souls. He's still touching hearts. He's still ministering and healing the old brokenness of our hearts, the old torment of our minds, the old dark wounds and scars of our experiences of the past. And you know what? You might not ever forget where you come from. But it's a promise by this Word, and it's a promise by God Himself that you never have to go back to it.
Amen.
I was an alcoholic at one time. Some of you was drug addicts at one time. But we were all sinners at one time. But you know what? We've come to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. Right? And if you're here this morning, just like when that Bible was placed in their hands, now they was brought to a proverbial crossroads. Okay, what are we just going to chunk it? Some of them might have chunked it down. Some of them might have left it in their suitcase for a year, and all of a sudden they decided to go to Rome or Paris or something, huh? And they dug around and put some more clothes in, and there was that Bible. And automatically God smote their heart. They picked it up and began to read. And the Lord apprehended them. We've all got a testimony. You that's born again, every one of you, you can remember how it happened, when it happened. You can remember. But the best thing you to remember is who made it happen.
Yes, amen.
That's the Lord. So before we call the rest of these guys back up here together for one more minute, we want to ask this. If you're here this morning and you need prayer, you said, I'm tired of fighting this old life the way I've been having to fight. It's all come crumbling down on me. Nothing makes sense. There's more. It seems like you're walking in more hell than heaven right now, huh? It seems like you got more problems than promises right now. It seems like that all the roads that you're on is dead-end streets. Well, guess what? I believe there's an avenue of opportunity here for you this morning to just say, Lord, I'm tired of fighting this thing alone. I want you to take it. I want to live for you. If you here, I want to give you that opportunity right now. You said, oh no, preacher, everybody's looking at me. No, they're not. No, they're not. Somebody's going to say something. No, they're not. No, they're not. Because you see, we might not have your back. We might fail you. People might fail you, but God will never fail you. The Lord always has your back.